Really appreciative of the incredible work that you're doing, not only in terms of innovation, but also combating anti-Semitism on your campus. My first question is really about the innovation agenda and the DNA that it really seems to be, right across campus with York proper, Schulich School of Business and beyond. Can you tell us a bit about that between the Black Entrepreneur Alliance and now ChaiTech and Y-Space? It's pretty amazing. So we'd love your perspective on that and what your approach is to fuel and create all these incredible programs at your campus.
Do you want me to hold this? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. So hi, everyone. It's really a pleasure to be here and an honor for York University to be engaged in this activity. Increasingly, universities have been expanding the whole area of work-integrated learning and experiential education. And in many ways, entrepreneurship is an extension of that because we have so many students who actually have an idea even while they're in their programs in university and they already want to start working on the startup idea. We've had senior graduate students who can sometimes, partner with undergraduate students. And so even while they're in university, we are interested in expanding entrepreneurship. But of course, we don't just think about entrepreneurship for our students, it's also all the surrounding community and our obligation to really support our alumni, but also other entrepreneurs. In Canada, we know how much we rely on small and medium enterprises, and it is worrisome that the number of entrepreneurs is dropping. And I've been at a number of events recently where I've heard ministers, including Minister Bethlen Falvey, talk about the drop in the productivity level in Canada. And so everything that we can do as a university to support entrepreneurs is an incredible contribution to the economic viability of the province.
Amazing. Thank you. I appreciate that very much as someone who's been had a first row seat. It's really incredible. How many York graduates and even students do we have in the audience? And Schulich, of course. That's about a third. That's pretty impressive. So we really appreciate being here. With regards to combating anti-Semitism, since October 7th, it's been a very difficult time for the Jewish community right across the country, including on campus. And there's an endless array of examples that I can share. But one thing that made me very proud as a York University and Schulich alumni was the more assertive stance and more principled stance that you took to stand up for the Jewish students and fight back against anti-Semitism. So I want to share my appreciation on behalf of everyone here and ask you a bit about your approach in terms of facing off, whether it's YFS and other organizations. So,
Yeah, look, October 7th was obviously a horrific event, and it is still playing out, and we all lament the terrible loss of life. And I want to say, as a mother and a grandmother, thinking about the hostages in particular is very, very difficult to even talk about. I was really, though, fortunate that I'm in this position where when we saw the situation playing out on university campuses and we saw how it was, related to a rise in anti-Semitism, that I am in a position, to really advocate for our own policies and our procedures and how we can apply those policies and procedures effectively to make sure that everybody on our campuses feel comfortable, feel safe. It was obviously very difficult. Some numbers of years ago, we developed the open and inclusive and respectful dialogue policy so that we can hold our student, staff, and faculty accountable, to that. And I do want to say that, I want to emphasize that as much as we needed to respond and remember how important it was in this moment that we really reach out to all of our partners in Israel and show that support, that just in general also, being very proactive as a rule in how we're advocating for Jewish studies, how we're advocating, we have the Koshitsky Center of Jewish Studies, one of the very first Jewish Studies centers. I've got this goal to make it, the place where one goes to undertake research around issues like anti-Semitism and intermarriage and attitudes towards what's happening in the Middle East. It's incredibly important that we're proceeding from a very evidence-based approach and understanding of what is actually going on and the history that is related to what is happening. So I'm glad that I was in a position to provide some support.
We are too. Thank you very much for being with us.